All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Drinks and Kicks. It's a little bit different than normal. Usually, we only come together at the end of the year for the sneaker countdown. It's about one quarter into the year so far. Wanted to take this time to kind of get a temperature check. But before we get into that, let's introduce who our guests are this day. If you guys want to go around, give a little bit of introductions, who you guys are, a little bit about yourselves, where they can find you, just so everyone gets to know you guys.
All right, that's a bet. Hey, man, it's your boy, Jay. You can find me on Instagram, 12 o'clock Piv, PNC Worldwide, WRLD. That's the clothing brand, Raleigh, North Carolina. And yeah, we here.
Hey, Warren, 602 Warren on Instagram. Born and raised right here in Phoenix, 602.
Nice. Wait.
And you do this for a living.
I do, bro. Seriously. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy, it's your kid, Neff, right? You follow me over on Instagram at Kid Neffer, also on YouTube. Hey, check out that channel because big 10K on the way.
Let's help this man get to 10K.
100%.
All right, guys, and I am your host once again, Daniel. That's Hype DJ on Instagram. Before we get into it, guys, how's everyone feeling today?
Oh, lovely, man.
Wavy.
Good?
Good.
Got drinks in hand?
Beautiful Sunday,
Good.
man.
Nice.
Beautiful Sunday.
Cheers before we
Nice.
get going.
Cheers.
Absolutely. Let's get to it.
All right. So one thing I wanted to get into first and foremost, main topic we're going to talk about is like the temperature of where sneakers are. I mean, it's a pretty big thing. It's multifaceted, I would say. It's not just a one factor type conversation. So that's the big topic. But first, I wanted to get everyone's thoughts on something that kind of baffled me recently. Most people know when you're trying to go after the limited drops, everyone usually goes with the raffle system, right? Online raffle system. Because we're in AZ, we really only have the two boutiques that really get stuff. It's either Undefeated or Manor. And if you can't make it to those, any of those who know, I should say, you go after those other boutiques like Concepts or I don't want to give too many of them away because then you guys are going to ruin my chances. But Bodega, Concepts, some of those other Packer, some of those other boutiques that are out of state. But all of them seem to use Run Fair now as like the system for running these raffles.
Goodness.
One thing I noticed when signing up last time is they have a subscription, which I feel like every company these days runs some kind of subscription model. But I think it's a little interesting that a company that's supposed to run a fair raffle also has a tiered system where you can get a subscription. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Like, how are you supposed to trust that this is being ran fair when there's people who are paying for the subscription? Because I know if I was paying for the subscription and I didn't get a hit in a month, like I'd be pretty upset.
Absolutely.
And we all know there's like weekly drops of like hot things dropping and everyone's trying to go after it. So I kind of wanted to get your guys' thoughts. If you guys use Run Fair at all, any of those raffles, what are your guys' thoughts on like the subscription model? We'll kind of go around. Jay, what do you think?
I hate subscriptions. I hate raffles. I'm an old school type of dude when it comes down to kicks, man. Like, I just remember as a kid, like getting up, going to the shoe store with my dad and stuff like that. And so that's kind of the model that I'm used to.
Okay.
And so like raffles, I get it if you have a store like Undefeated or Manor where their stock is low. Like let's say they're only getting 30 pairs or a size run. It makes no point to have people camp out.
Yeah.
Because it's just going to cause commotion. But for
sure.
GRs and stuff like that, it should be first come, first
First
serve.
come, first serve.
I used to work at Finish Line in college, so I kind of know how it goes as far as getting stock. We normally would get our shipment 2 months ahead, and we get in between 200 pairs. So if you in line and you wake your tail up and you go get in line, you're going to get your shoe. And so just like with the whole thing with these Run Fair raffles and EQL, I feel like for one, it was started by people who was buying originally.
Probably.
100%.
Probably.
And so how can you really trust the system to really benefit you, the person that really cares about the sneakers, if you're putting your trust into this company that don't really has the best interest of the people? So,
True.
Yeah.
One thing, before we jump over to Warren, one thing you mentioned with your history working at Finish Line was knowing the stock. Like, I feel like a level of transparency would be nice across the board. And if, like, I don't know your guys' thoughts, but what if you went in to sign up for a raffle and they told you straight up, like, yo, we only have 60 pairs. And, like, what size are you? Like an
Right.
11? All right. There's really only 3. So your chances are going after only 3 pairs.
Right.
I like the transparency.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how you guys think about it.
I think personally for me, honestly, I think what it is, I'm more of like, not to kind of like, follow exactly what you were saying, but I think I'm more of I like to actually go ahead and get shoes, like go to a store, if I can't get it, I just can't get it. I don't think, paying for a service like that, especially if you're not guaranteed to get the sneaker or the actual drop, I would, I like that. I'd rather just take my chances, like I said, just waiting in line or, a raffle system. That way, if I can get it, I get it. If I don't, just on to the next release. Because you got to think, there's so many other releases that Nike and all these other brands are dropping each and every single time. So I feel like personally, I'm not going to, the shoe's already expensive as is.
Mhm.
I'm not going to do, hey, let me pay an additional $15 for a potential chance at getting a drop. That's my take on it personally.
So with those, because I know we had talked a little bit before, and you said you personally don't use them. So they only charge you, if you're not paying for the subscription, you pay the fee if you win the raffle.
Like $8.
Correct.
But
correct.
it is an additional like $8 to $10.
Right, exactly.
And given the inflated prices now, like sometimes a $200 shoe with the shipping, and let's not even get into the fact that they overcharge for shipping a lot of the times. But it's like the shipping and that fee, you're like adding an extra $30 to $40 on top of the sticker price. Like
I've seen some states. I mean, when we're in Arizona, I mean, I've seen some states like they got 15%. And $15 extra for shipping. So it's just at that point, just go ahead and buy it on Go.
Yeah. With everything hitting like the resale platforms and everything either at retail or under retail, sometimes that's the best option when you flat out think about it.
I agree.
But I didn't want to skip over Warren. Warren, what were your thoughts?
No, my thoughts are the opposite. I enjoy the raffle system.
Yeah.
I enjoy the run fair and the EQL. Like I think, because I'm not gonna camp out. I'm not doing it. I'm just not.
Right. Respect,
so
respect
if I can throw an entry in online, I'd much rather do that.
Yeah.
I seem to hit more often on EQL and run fair. Like I gotta knock on wood or something like that to make sure that I continue to hit. But I feel like I am not hitting everything, but I'm at least getting one thing a month.
And you don't pay for the subscription, right?
I
Just
don't
so we can
pay
clarify
for the
that.
No, I don't pay for the subscription at all.
That's good.
But I am hitting one, or because you get hey man, we put in for this for me, so I'm putting in for not only myself but for other people. So I think that's what's running it up. My chances of, because whenever you don't hit, they give you
a boost,
like a 1% higher chance on the next one and the next one and the next one. But as for transparency at the stores, I would argue against that.
Really?
From a business standpoint, I think what everybody tends to forget is that the stores are in business to make money.
Yes.
Of course.
And so if you're letting your customers know, hey, we've only got 3 pairs in your size, I mean, you're possibly going to lose out on potential business.
Yep.
Running the raffles, you're letting people know, hey, we've only got 1,000 pairs of this shoe, whatever it is. You run a raffle, you're going to get more than 1,000 entries, which means you're going to sell 1,000 pairs of shoes no matter what. 100%. And you've got somebody locked in now. You put in a raffle entry and you get it and you're like, oh, I didn't realize that these were going to be super easy to get.
Yeah.
Too late. They've already charged your credit card. Like they've got your money.
I've had a couple of instances of that happen for sure.
So that's from a business standpoint, I completely understand.
Of course.
Because they've locked you in now. Once you submit that raffle entry, they've got your credit card information.
Yeah.
Right.
Whether the shoe is hyped or not.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's a lot of things you got to kind of think about. I almost entered some we were talking a little bit earlier before we started rolling about the Big Bubble 95.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the same thing as like, I wanted to ensure that I was going to get it. So I started thinking like all the raffles were coming up and I went to enter and I was about to do it on 2 different sites. And then there's a shoe palace right across from where the store where I work. So I just asked them, I was like, hey, are you guys getting them?
Right.
And they're like, yeah. So I'm like, all right, I'm not even going to waste the time because I know I can get it there.
I feel like, like for a business standpoint, like you said, it's like perfect. Cause you're getting your money before a consumer standpoint. Like me, for example, I do reviews, right?
Yeah.
So I'm more catering to like, I tell people like, hey, I do the best I can to ensure that you guys can get these at retail. I'm a retailer or nothing guy, So I feel like I look out for more consumers on that aspect, but for the business standpoint, for how they're running it, it works more for them.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, the stores are in, like, your store's in it to make money.
Yeah.
Nike is in this to make money.
Yep.
And as much as we want to say, oh, I wish Nike would do this, or I wish Adidas would do that, and like at the end of the day, their policies are to make money.
True.
Yeah.
True.
And like one thing I can say about like raffle systems and stuff too, like, yeah, I'm pretty much against it and everything. But one thing that kind of like stands out is that once you're doing like releases and everything, and you got all these people there, it gets dangerous sometimes.
Yeah,
that's true.
Like,
That's true.
You got to think at the end of the day, we're all in it for the love of the game. We love shoes, and we love the community and everything. But safety is a prime example that
Yeah,
we need to make
100%.
sure that everyone is good. So me and the guys was talking off camera just about like I just moved out here from Houston not too long ago, and in the H is a lovely place. Like if y'all ever go out there and visit, y'all will have a bunch of fun. But if you're going out there to camp out for shoes or hat drops, like hat clubs coming to the town and stuff, it gets hectic, yo.
Yeah.
And safety just becomes it's a priority for people.
Yeah, I think it was interesting because, I mean, me and Warren, I know, are a little bit older, and just based on talking to you guys have been around for a while too, so it's not like you guys are young.
Right.
But like everything used to be first come, first serve,
Yeah.
and then it hit that point where the safety became a big issue.
Mhm.
Then we went away from it. I think now it's kind of a place where it's a little bit of a mixture. They still do
Right.
some releases first come,
Mhm.
first serve. Some of the more hype and exclusive stuff, they usually tend to do raffles.
Mhm.
I mean, even weekly drops. Like I said, the Shoe Palace is right away, and I know you mentioned, Jay, that you work at a Shoe Palace too. So
100%. Yeah.
like they still do raffles for the weekly drops.
I think
Most of that's like the in-store sign-up stuff, though.
majority of the releases that how we cater them now, it's honestly really just first come first serve.
Yeah.
Depending on like your more limited drops, like your Kobe's, or depending on what they are, we will do a raffle system. But for majority of the time, it is first come first serve. I think it just depends on the area that
Yeah.
you're in as well, because like with us being in Arizona, I feel like we get crazy releases, right?
Yeah.
But it's not as crazy as like Midwest area, like Chicago area, or like Philadelphia, like areas like that where it's like you need to have that actual control of those people, because if not, it gets kind of crazy. But I feel like out here it's a little bit more steady depending on the release that you have.
Well,
Tends
we've
to
only
be.
got the two
stores.
main store, and they're
Mhm.
literally right around the corner from each
Yeah.
other. So if you're not in Central Phoenix, like you're coming in from
Right.
all over the valley. And
Yeah,
it's a-
I think that's my stance too, being a little bit older and like having done so many campouts before, like it's a time issue sometimes.
Mhm.
The other thing too is the availability. Like if we only have those two locations, and like you said, they're centrally located. I live way surprised, so I'm like, I'm not
You're
driving
away
down
from
there
everything.
for a raffle ticket. So my thing is like I try to increase my odds by entering as many like online boutique raffles as I can.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That makes
So
sense.
but I'm in the same boat. Like if I don't get it, it's on to the next, because there's so many things that drop.
Man.
There are some things that haunt me though that I still try to go after, but for the most part, like I tried, I didn't get it. Like it's on to the next one.
That's good.
it's a matter of time before it comes into the shop. And,
Yeah.
but-
Plus a lot of things drop too. I mean, I feel like what you're willing to pay for things, because everything's so high now, it's
Mhm.
pretty reasonable within range,
Yeah.
given the state of what things are.
100%.
But that's a good kind of segue to shift gears into the main topic of just how do we feel the state of sneakers are overall. Like I said, we're about almost one quarter into the year.
Mhm.
We've had some pretty good drops so far. I don't know if that's right adjective, but some decent drops so far. I think some stuff, their excitement kind of is there in the moment,
Mhm.
and then it seems to fade pretty fast. I mean, that's a trend. Kind of seen that with the Union ones, I would say.
Yeah.
Oh,
There was-
yeah.
That's surprising.
Yeah, big bubbles we talked about briefly a second ago.
Mhm.
Last year, because of the scarcity, that shoe was pretty hyped up. The
Yeah.
wide general release happened, and the
Mhm.
excitement's gone.
Yeah.
So kind of wanted to go around. We'll start opposite direction this time, just kind of get a sense of where you guys think sneakers are. And I know a lot of topic, you yourself, because you're a content creator,
Right.
a lot of the big topic I think online is like sneakers are dead. So just kind of lead off with that, and what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, 100%. Honestly, I don't think personally sneakers are dead. I guess it's really just who I think for that category, sneakers are dead for, I guess you could say, people who really do it more for reselling aspect. Because, we're in 2026, this isn't 2019, 2020, 2021, where, most people got into the game really just to make a profit.
Yep.
But OGs and people who genuinely like the game of sneakers, like me, for example, I've been into sneakers for 2016, and I could care less if a sneaker's going for $1,000 or it's going for $90. For me, I generally like it just because of the, with me being an enthusiast with it, the culture with it. When you go to some, raffles, you're waiting in line, the experience, you talk to different people. I don't think sneakers are dead. I think personally, sneakers are dead for people who do more reselling than actual real collectors. Because I mean, if you ask me, how do I feel with where sneakers are today? I love it. I mean, every release that's coming out, you can walk into the store. You're like, hey, man, should you getting this too? Why not? Like, you can. I love it, man. I really do. Like, I tell my people, man, you know, if you guys watch me, you know, I'm always like, hey, you know, wait a minute. You don't always have to get it right because it probably will go on sale. And when it does go on sale, like, you guys will be and like enjoy it. So I truly like it. And sometimes too, it's even better because, you know, we talk about this off camera too. Sometimes, you know, Nike on the outlets, you can find some shoes for like, you know, half the price of what they were going for. So it's just
40% off
I
on
think
the wall.
I think it's
Yeah.
a wonderful time to be a sneakerhead too. You know, markets are, depending on what their releases and what the sneaker is, it's kind of down, yes. But if you're in it for the love of the game, this is you're in a sweet spot right now.
Yeah.
Sweet spot.
Before
For
jumping over to Warren, one thing I wanted to piggyback on you were talking about is kind of, we talked a little bit earlier about it's a business, right? And like people don't understand the way some of the things work behind the scenes. Like it happens so much in your face that if you're not sitting there and trying to break it down, you don't see what happens. But like it's their jobs to create this FOMO feeling.
Of course.
Yeah.
And so leading up to it, you see like your favorite influencers or even just people you follow online, like everyone's posting about it, talking about it, and they're trying to create this excitement around the product. And then when that moment comes, you get so caught up in that moment and you're afraid of the FOMO of like, if I don't get this now, like I'm going to miss it
Right.
or I'm going to end up having to pay more for it. But the way things have been trending lately, that's not the case. So like you said, if you take a break, take a breath and like, hold on. Like,
really, like, you know, look all around.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? Hold on. This sneaker, I waited 2 months. Now I got it for, instead of doing $215, I got the sucker for, you know, $150. You
Yeah.
know? So
Yeah.
it's like, dang.
let the dust settle sometimes and kind of see where things are at.
Worn once.
Yeah. Yeah, Dad, good point. If you're really going to wear it, I'll take the cheap, like
I'll
worn
take
once.
the cheap worn once.
Yeah,
I'm
clean
all
pair.
over goat with that. I'm
Yeah.
just like,
Right.
oh yeah, worn once, great.
Come
Right.
on.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna wear it. So
So, yeah, with that, Warren, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I love the state of sneakers right now. I think it's phenomenal that you're able to kind of get what you want. You're still gonna have to put in a little bit of effort, and there's still some things that you got to do. But I think it's great that people are able to kind of find what they want. And I don't think sneakers are dead. I think the sneaker world is just evolving.
Facts.
And I think we're in a period. Remember when like Ultra Boosts first came out and everybody was wearing NMDs and all like that Adidas craze was happening? Like that, we're in another one of those periods where people are starting to figure out
100%.
New Balance and Asics
100%.
and all these other smaller brands and comfort over classic style. And eventually it will come back around and suddenly Jordans will be popular again and Nike will figure out their marketing. And so I think it's a great time to get what you want when you want for a good price.
I agree.
Yeah. The other thing you hit on too was like the other brands kind of coming in and Nike kind of course correcting. Analogy that I've always stuck with me and it kind of translates to like business and stuff is Nike is such a big ship for them to try to pivot and kind of catch up to what's going on. It's going to take a little bit of time
100%.
versus these smaller brands are more nimble. They can make changes quickly, kind of adapt to trends a little bit more. One thing that with that is like you see Nike kind of playing catch up, which I don't know if everybody else shares the sentiment. I kind of feel like that they're kind of tail ending some trends sometimes.
Yeah.
Like with the Mind Slide stuff,
Yeah.
like everyone was wearing Crocs during like the COVID era and that kind of like foam comfort, like clog, whatever you want to call it. But they started releasing the Comfort Slide, the Rejuvenate. Yeah, and now it's like the Mind Slide.
100%.
So you can kind of see them like tail ending certain trends, obviously putting their own kind of like spin on it. But it seems like they're kind of a little late to the party in some of the instances where in the past, it seems like they were ahead of the trend or the ones causing the trends.
Right.
So that's kind of a different position, I feel like, for them. And I mean, the stock reflects that. That's not just like me talking. Like anybody who
100%.
pays attention to the business side of it,
Yeah,
you can see that they've been hurting and CEO changes and kind of their whole strategy and approach.
Now is a great time to pick up Nike.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Phenomenal. If you're an investor, now is a phenomenal time to
Yeah,
seriously.
take all that money that you were spending on trying to get kicks to resell and buy some Nike stock if you truly believe in the company and the
I
product.
got me a couple.
That $200 that you would have spent on those cool gray fives, put it right into Nike.
Yeah, that's about four shares at the moment.
Yeah.
NKE.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think another thing too, just kind of add to as well. I think like last year, You look at Nike trying to make definitely last year I saw a big time. Nike was trying to make a comeback for sure because I think 2025 they brought back, I mean, a lot of great sneakers from a time of January till December. Like it was spendy. Like I know me, like for me, I collect like a lot of shoes.
Yeah.
And I think I bought a pair of sneakers every month last year for 2025. I mean, there was just a lot, you know, Gammas, you had what was it, white cement 4s, you know, we had undefeateds. Like it was just a lot. And I feel like Nike's like, all right, you know, like you said as well, with having that CEO change, I think they're like, you know what, let's go ahead and do things how we did back then and try to drive more of that, you know, for our consumers now. So
And I think we're also just in a period of like, I think Nike has to be on the tail end of things just because they're so big. I think our culture in general, we're now leaning more towards the independent, smaller in everything that we do. You can do that across the technology sector or the fashion sector, or sneakers. Everybody is gravitating towards the like small
niche,
business. You don't have this because you've never heard of it thing. And so Nike's like, they've got to get it right the first time because they're Nike.
Yeah.
Right. So if they mess it up, it's like, what in the world is Nike doing? And two, they've got to wait for the trend to like, okay, what are people actually doing? Right. This is a business model that has been followed by some of the greatest companies on the planet. Like Nintendo didn't do things first, but they come along and make it better than everybody else did. Apple's not going to make supposedly making a folding phone, right? But they're not the first ones to do it. But when they do it, it'll be better than any other phone out there. And they'll be way behind, but they have to be.
I would say Apple's the biggest example, I would say, for that. I'm a big Apple guy. I try not to drink the Kool-Aid as much, for sure, because you start to see the pattern and what the business model is of like small incremental increases at this point. But yeah, like you said, everyone always makes the complaint, like anybody who's an Android user is like, oh, we've had that forever. But it's like, oh yeah, but it didn't work this well or this easy. So that's a whole other topic. Yeah, go off on a different tangent.
But that's where I think Nike is right now, is that they've got to come in at the tail end and go, all right, this is the trend. This is what everybody's doing. How do we make it the best? That we can make it, and then go from there. So
one thing you kind of hit on too that I wanted to expand upon was you were talking about people gravitating towards smaller brands to have a feeling of like exclusivity. That's one thing that I kind of feel like is a little bit lost, or maybe it's something that people don't care about as much now as they did before. Because it seems like everything, like Galaxies, like Jay has the Galaxies on too. Like that was a crazy ass fucking shoe when it came out. And big now time. Like, I don't want to say it's like disrespected, but like people don't covet it as much.
Right.
And so that's kind of lost, I feel like, on some product where it's like, maybe it's the younger demographic doesn't care as much about that. Like that's not something that they put a lot of emphasis on when it comes to the sneakers. It's more about, I equate it to this. It's like, it's more like them trying to wear a specific uniform of what's cool. Like it's, I want to wear like relaxed sweats or like wear like a comfy, like Birkenstock or something like that. It's 100%. More about having something that fits within that uniform. Like the Asics was a good example. Like I didn't need a specific Asic. I just needed something that was like a white,
Asic.
Asic shoe.
And I feel like, I mean, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
I feel like to chime in more with that, I think we talked about this as well. It's like trends. It's like whatever's trending is what people really care more about. And I feel like it's like you should really follow what you like versus what everyone else in the mass majority of people are doing.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, like at the end of the day, that's what matters. That's why I feel like, and I think this reference has been stated in the community a lot, but it's like, buy what you like, not what's hype, So I think that's another thing, how you said, that kind of like relates back to you.
Yeah.
That's a major fact. The state of culture right now for sneakers is the best it's been in a long time, especially during like the pandemic and stuff like that.
Yeah.
One thing that's kind of dying out, like y'all has mentioned, is the resale market. Like during the pandemic, I was reselling heavy, you know what I'm saying? Like everyone on resale, it's a part of the game. And the money was really good because you're able to, man, I'm getting military discount on this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then you get your little $100 extra off of it. So if you do that with what, 10 pairs of shoes, made a band off the resale market.
Mhm.
And so like, as far as that go, that's the thing that's done died. And that's a good thing too, because with that, like, resellers going to always exist, right? But you got people that comes into it that's only doing it for the money, and they don't respect the culture, and they don't respect the love. And so like right now, it kind of reminds me of that period that we was in between 2014 to, I want to say, like right up until 2016 with phone pods and stuff like that. Because you remember, like, once that Galaxy came out, everything was just crazy. And then we got fighter jets after that. Like, we got so much stuff
Fighter jets.
after that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy. And it was one of those things where it's just like, man, everyone got to have a phone. Then they coming out with, like, I don't know if I can say this on camera, but like the tampon ones, the red ones. I don't know if y'all remember those. They was terrible, but that killed the phone hype. And so like now it's kind of like when you see it in the culture right now, it's like one of those things where you can buy what you like. You can get what you want to get. Like Galaxy phone pods, for example, I flew from Houston to here, went to Manor, camped out, all of that. Like,
got a story
for him. But that's the cool part about it, because you're able to do that now. Big Bubble 95s, when those dropped last week, I went to undefeated. I'm the only one in the line.
Yeah.
And that's the cool stuff about it, because you're just able to touch what you want to touch.
Right.
And, it's the best time to be a sneakerhead right now.
Yeah. That's the one thing I would tie back into the first come, first serve is that's one thing that's missing when you do the online raffle stuff, is that moment of like in your hand at that time. Like you can,
it's an experience.
Yeah. Take it out of the box, check out the packaging, like look at the quality. Like a lot of that is missing. And it does kind of come I don't know if it's like less attachment, but like you get the box in hand now when it's like shipped to you, and I'll open it, make sure it's in there, and it's like, all right. Put it in.
Yep.
Ron the net. Yeah, I feel that for sure.
Yeah.
But
no, go ahead. Good.
It's like, it's a cool thing to see it though, because like y'all had all mentioned, you're starting to get exposure to different brands and stuff like that. Like what Action Bronson is doing with Asics and stuff is insane. Like what's the guy name from Chicago?
J-Tips?
J-Tips.
Wasakani. Yeah, crazy.
New York. He's from
crazy.
New York.
Yeah.
But what he's doing with Saucony and what the other guy doing, Joe Fresh Goods. What they're doing is exposing the brands and everything. And it's also one of those things too, where like, look what Adidas doing. They're going and getting like independent brands like Dios out of Houston. They're going to get Larry June and all these other people.
I think that's cool.
It's cool, but that's what Nike needs to catch up to.
Collaborating more with
because their collabs is kind of like boring at this point. Like we want to see a Manor collab.
But we've all heard the stories come out of Nike collabs.
Yeah,
we've all heard the Sean Wotherspoon stories. Of like, well, this wasn't really a great experience.
Yeah.
So like, can Nike even do that anymore?
Probably not.
Or is their machine so big that they're just like, we'll put your name on it, but we're designing it.
Exactly.
That's actually something.
That's actually a good point, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I know we talked about off camera. Remember the going back to the phone posits, but the phone posit they just went ahead and did with Stranger Things.
Crazy.
Like that one was clean, And I feel like if they can keep those type of creativity designs like that, I feel like that will also maybe bring back more, people buying the products versus just this product's not that good, and then people just pass on it, So
Facts. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like
Nike has a reputation they've got to keep. So their collaborations have got to be, or they're going to be far more scrutinized and far more picked over than any other collaboration. You can let, Ronnie Feig and all these other people do whatever they want to do with other brands.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, all right, cool. Let's have some fun. But you get onto an Air Max 1 or you get onto an Air Force 1 and it's like, okay, now we really need to make sure what you're doing is representative of the culture or the story.
So that's one interesting point that you guys got me thinking about that I didn't think about before was the amount of freedom that the other companies give to some of the collaborators.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And not feeling like Nike has done that. Like I'm like running through my memory to try to think of an instance where I felt like they have given somebody like free reign to do whatever they want. But at a slightly bigger scale, right? You start even talking about like the marketing for it. I'm a big Salehi guy, so like when you see what New Balance allows him to do
crazy
with like the rollout and him designing like his own little commercials, as we would call them nowadays, like content for like IG or any of the social platforms. Like he creates his own little ad campaigns
Yeah.
and he does all that stuff. But I don't feel like Nike, I don't know if it's from a trust standpoint that they want to have more control over it in that sense, where it's like,
That's
I
probably
don't,
what it is.
can't remember an instance where they like gave a
That's
collaborator.
probably what it is. Because like that's a good point. Salehi Bembury, man, like he
Killing it.
dude,
Yeah.
Going
his
crazy.
art that he does with footwear is absolutely
Yeah.
insane, dude. And I feel like honestly, like if Nike can get on board with more people like that too,
Yep.
I think that would elevate the brand even more for sure. But like you said as well, it could be probably a trust thing, to be
Yeah.
honest.
It's got to be trust. The last big collaboration rollout was the Wotherspoon, where he drove across the country in that bus
Mm-hmm.
and was giving out shoes. But if you talk to him or if you hear any of his stories, it was just like he hated it, and that's why he immediately went to Adidas.
Yeah.
And it was just awful. Union, I think, got lucky with the original Shadow. What are the two original shoes that they did? The Jordan ones.
Yeah. The Union ones.
Yeah.
The two Union ones that everybody went insane for,
Mhm.
and Nike kind of went, "Oh, there's something here." But even their most recent shoes have just been like, "Here's a splash page, and here's a couple IG reels, and that's it."
Yeah.
What do you think about since we're talking about that right now? What do you feel like? What's his name? The biker Nigel Sylvester.
Yeah.
That he's getting ready to come out with the like the 4. Do you think that's good? Do you think they have like good control? Because I think last year when he came out with those brick by bricks, they were good too. Do you think that was something that he had full control over, or do you think it was more of like, we'll let you try it out? And,
I feel like the storytelling, like they started going somewhere good with
Mhm.
like building up this like mythology around it, right? They
Mhm.
always try to do like what's the whole meaning behind the actual product.
Mhm.
I feel like they did a decent job with that, but then I feel like it fell off because it wasn't only the brick by brick, like they kind of did the lead up with the RM.
Yeah,
They had the green RM, then the black RM.
and now the RM's not even talked about.
Yeah, and then they freaking released so many colors, and arguably like a large majority of them were terrible.
Mhm.
And it's
Yes.
like that just watered down that product, which had a cool story
Mhm.
and like some cool lore with the green pair, and then to a lesser extent the black pair, but like
Mhm.
those first two with him tied in, and that was all kind of a lead up to the 4 and the brick by brick.
Mhm.
But I feel like it kind of fizzled out by that point. Like now, this one's called the brick after brick. Like
Yeah, the sail pair with
Yeah.
it looks really like
Which
a
is
fire
better
red
than the
4.
brick by
Those
brick
is
in
tough,
my
though.
person.
You like-
in my
you like-
opinion.
You like those really?
I
The
like
new
them.
the
I
white
can't
with
lie.
the
Hey,
fire red looking colorway.
the fire red. That's all I'm gonna say is the fire
That's
red.
I
Nigel.
think that's
Looks
the
better
reason
than
for
the
me
brick.
why I put the brick for brick over those personally, because I have the fire red. And if I had to pick one, I'm going with the OG over
Yeah.
that. But man, those big brick by bricks are so clean, bro. One thing I just didn't like about them, I think the dye was kind of like bleeding on some pairs too.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
going
But
off.
I think they did a really good, because I mean, like kind of where it came from and inspired off kind of like like a brick house. Like, I think that was like really cool too.
Yeah,
The
They-
only person that Nike I feel like gives creative control to in their like segment is like really Jordan Brand in a way, because
Yeah,
if you look at the Tiana Taylors that's about to come out, I think it's a 3
It
with like
is.
the concrete and the flowers.
that
and stuff.
green, that packaging is sick
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
That's sick, but you don't really like. I mean, it's sick for that. The shoe, I'm not really feeling it like that because you don't probably couldn't wear it every day. But
Right.
it's like the control that they're giving her on that range. Like
Mhm.
Travis is another one of them guys that's
Oh, Travis right there.
can do anything at Nike, but when you look at the personal side of it, on the
made a face.
But can he do anything he wants at Nike? Because he's just released the exact same shoe in multiple colorways.
multiple over and over again,
Like-
but his signature shoe, like he's kind of experimented a little bit and just done different things on it.
Cactus Jack.
Is that what they call it?
Jumpman
The
Jack?
Jumpman
Jumpman,
Yeah, my
those
bad.
the Chase B colorway is crazy.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Like he can kind of put his influence on it,
Mhm.
but like how you said with the Jordan 1, it's like copy and paste.
Mhm.
And yeah, man.
No, that's good.
And I think
agree.
the most recent Travis kind of speaks back to what we were talking about earlier about the exclusivity and the number of pairs and all that other stuff.
The frag.
The
Frag.
second
The new
frag.
frag, yeah.
It was an all white shoe with a blue swoosh, but everybody's ape over it.
Yeah,
Like just, oh
yeah.
my God.
The exclusivity thing, yeah.
Because it's exclusive. Like it's
Mhm.
not a great looking shoe.
Mhm.
Sure, if I had a pair, I'd wear them, but like,
I feel like it's one of those things that were like, how do you equate the value? It's more so
Agreed.
the quality. It's the shoe's value comes from the fact that it's limited, not that it's a dope colorway,
right.
not that it had cool storytelling,
Right.
anything other than that. It wasn't like no special packaging. It's just it was limited. Therefore, higher dollar value. So
Therefore, I need it.
yes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like I gravitate towards more like OGs. Like I know now, they're getting ready to start going ahead and they're coming out with like the Jordan, like a lot of the stuff they didn't have back in the day. They're coming out with. I think the retro cards are going to start coming back out. The face boxes. I wish they would go ahead and start doing like with the 11th a slide out box.
Mhm.
Like I really wish they would start doing that. But I feel like that's the type of stuff that people want. If we're spending all this money too, like give us the premium quality that we want.
Yes.
And I feel like you cater to your people, they'll do that.
I think the funniest thing too is one of the factors we talk about, like why things overall are not in the same place, is like inflation and price increases. But not to dig deep into that, but more so what you were saying is like, if I'm going to be paying a little bit extra, like that card costs you pennies. Like,
Yeah,
give me a retro card in there.
right.
Like,
It's
come on, guys.
It's the details. It's
Yeah.
the small little details, because you get them, you're like, wow, like I have this and it came with this. This justifies my, my $230.
Yeah.
Give me an extra set of laces. Those cost you like, $1 to
Yeah,
Right.
I would say even probably cheaper than that if they has much quantity as they would probably make
Right.
for that. Yeah, but yeah, to your
give me
point,
a second pair of laces.
give me
Mhm.
something. Like that's the other thing is like price increases, but at the same time they're not giving you anything extra,
No.
and from any standpoint,
Right.
like, and that's the thing where it's like at least throw me something extra,
Mhm.
make it feel special.
Right. Exactly.
And on some levels, they're not even respecting you as a consumer
Yes.
by making you jump through all these hoops and feel like, oh yeah, sneakers is this fair marketplace. We all know it's not.
Right.
Yeah.
We all know sneakers is rigged, and then you'll never convince me that it's not.
Right.
So, in some ways, it just feels disrespectful by many companies. Just
Mhm.
like, well, this is what you'll do if you want our product.
Right.
And then to jump back onto the collab kind of topic we were talking about, it's like the type of people that Nike collabs with, I think may also be something that attributes to that. Because most of them, for the most part, are like musicians. Whereas like you look at somebody like a Salehi Bembury, he's like a designer who has the background, the education, and the experience. And he's kind of utilizing all those different like disciplines that he has to kind of promote and make his product. Whereas like them, like if you're saying like a Travis, maybe he doesn't have all those other disciplines. So he relies more on the Nike machine to help him with the advertisement and the rollout. He could probably make some suggestions in passing, but like, what are his input and how much level and time is he sitting down and like dedicating to the product that he's putting out?
Agreed. And
100%.
think
And
that-
I think that's why. That's why Virgil's 10 was so successful.
Man.
Is because he gave you 10 shoes at once, and had they just given you the Chicago, it would have been like, oh, okay, that's cool.
No, seriously.
R.I.P.
Virgil,
Virgil,
man.
man.
That was
R.I.P. Virgil.
that was
But
a guy right
had
there.
I just given you the Chicago and just been like, hey, here's this Virgil Abloh, he would have been like, okay, that's a cool shoe.
Speaking of that,
all
man,
right.
Speaking of which, I'm actually excited to see how. I wonder how do you think these are they calling the Alaskas?
The last
Yeah.
That's coming out. How do you think these are gonna do? Pretty good or?
they'll sell out instantly.
I think it will. The only thing I'm not as too on top of, to be honest, with that specific shoe is the release process. I saw that there was a raffle through his, I don't know if it's his a fund now or his association, but I know it was like a website, the same thing, EQL raffle. I saw people posting
Coming
like their
back.
entries. So if that's the only way to get them and there's not going to be a wider release, then I feel like it's going to be one of those shoes where everybody wants it because it's limited.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm.
Agreed.
They're like $2,800 right now.
Yeah.
Last sale.
And other than the stamp on the side, there's no different from the Euro pair from before, right?
Yeah, it just says
Uh,
VAA for
instead of
Nike
instead of off-white.
Off-white, yeah.
So that's the other thing. I'm like, okay, so you're releasing the same shoe yet again.
I think they'll hit sneakers. I think there'll be a limited number of pairs.
Yeah.
Maybe
We'll
10
see,
pairs.
yeah.
But I'm glad they improved the packaging from what we were
Yes.
talking about, like some
Yes.
more kind of
like
cool
that's
packaging.
that stuff.
with the book that comes with it.
Yeah.
you know,
That stuff matters.
Yeah.
Jay, you
You
were
gotta
about to say something?
continue Virgil's legacy, man. Like Virgil's impact on the culture was just like ridiculous, bro.
What?
Like Virgil impacted everything from music to like Bentrill and stuff. We was wearing Bentrill shirts in like 2013 because of Virgil.
Pyrex Vision.
Like Pyrex, all of that, yo. Like you got to continue his legacy and what he's doing,
The
and
right way.
like he died balling. You know what I'm saying? Like he's at the top of the world, and so like just bring it. Nike released the vault.
Yeah.
Bring
Yeah.
us Virgil stuff, man.
Literally at this
He was
point,
everywhere.
man. Yeah. Release it.
Helvetica with quotes around it was everywhere. You know what I
Everywhere,
mean? Like,
dog.
it was just everybody was doing it.
What are your guys' thoughts on that? Because you said that opened the vault, right? And you mentioned that earlier about what they had dropped last year. kind of going into the vault, like Wu-Tang dunks. Like a lot of people forgot about Wu-Tang
Man,
dunks.
I forgot about it.
Galaxy foams, like the Tokyo 5s, the undefeated 4s, like a lot of those things that were like locked in the vault or like such limited timepiece releases from back when, like they brought them to the masses. So what are your guys' thoughts on if they continue that trend? And that's a perfect example, right? Like what if they brought back the 10? I'm sure some people would be upset, right? Definitely those asset class people who like hold the shoe for the value. But I'm sure anybody who enjoys sneakers would like them to bring them back out. So like, what are your guys' thoughts about Nike continue to go into the vault and bring back stuff?
Bring it back. We just had a conversation about that off camera too.
We did actually, yeah.
And they talked about the Paranormans, and at first I was kind of like, nah, they shouldn't bring the Paranormans back. But they actually should if they keep the same type of release.
Yeah.
Weird picture, and you know what I'm saying? Like the masses is able to get it. That's the cool thing. And I really feel like one of like the corniest things to do in sneaker culture is to gatekeep.
Yeah.
And they are meant to be on our feet. They're art. You know, people are meant to appreciate the art form and everything like that. So if we can go back in the vault and bring a lot of cool stuff back, I think that would be lit, yo. Like,
I agree. I mean, I feel like, you know, they're doing it now with, we talked about this too, Undefeated Force that dropped last year. I mean, you know, to see before this release that we got, to see the impact it had then, if you're going to already start doing releases like that, just start going and release all the other stuff too. I mean, they're doing it with the Kobe's. Some Kobe's they're bringing back, you know. And I feel like personally, it's like shoes are meant to be worn. They're an art, you know. I understand it for collectors because there's some people that really hold on to that value of shoes and are like, dang, they're restocking it. Like now it doesn't have that special feel to it. But I also feel like at the same time for consumers, like people generally want these shoes to wear them. So it's like, why not bring it back?
Yeah.
I don't think that they should bring everything back. Like if it's, for example, like if it's like a one of one, let that be. You know, I don't really, because that has its own type of value. Like we talked about, what was it, the Eminem Forest?
Yeah.
Like I feel like that should be a shoe that definitely should never get, you know, replicated again because it's like, it's special. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they were made for Eminem, not for the general public.
Exactly. Yeah. But for just like regular, I feel like bring it back. You know, why not? Why not?
I mean, I'm a fan of bringing things back. I enjoy it. I like it. I was a huge fan, especially because you're wearing the De La lows. I loved what Nike SB was doing, was taking highs and making them lows and taking lows and making them
flip,
highs and flipping it around and giving, all right, we're giving you this colorway back, but we're doing it in a way that's different and unique. And if Jordan Brand could find a way to do that by like, kind of like these salesman infrareds or sport red sixes, whatever they are.
They did that with the Black Cats too, like the Hill Cup thing switch.
Right.
Yeah,
where you're just sort of switching it around just a little bit. So it's like you're getting the colorway, you're getting the shoe, but it's not quite exactly the same. Is I think a good compromise for everybody, where you can have that grail of like the Wu-Tang Dunk is going to be the Wu-Tang Dunk forever, but we released it as a low. So now you've got it, but it's not quite the same.
I feel like that may appease both sides because then collectors won't get too upset because it's not the exact same shoe, but you still kind of get that feeling of like, hey, you know, I like the shoe, so I at least have a version of it, regardless if it's not the one-to-one exact shoe.
That'd be lit. Like, just imagine if we got a Paris high.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, personally.
Or skunk low. You know what I mean?
That'd be sick too.
That would be dope.
Yeah, Nike SB, to kind of go back to like collaborations, I think Nike SB does a great job at collaborations. Like, I think, for example, we have them right here sitting, the Deshaun Jordans.
Yeah.
Like, these right here, I wish I could pick them up actually real quick. Yeah. But let me text this in real quick. Is that possible? They're, I think these, like, for what they are, like, these are clean. You got the, you know, especially, they got that diamondback type of color to it, you know, rattlesnake, like, you know, you got the rattlesnake pendant right there, the different, like, I actually like these. I really genuinely do, and I think these are releasing, what, 16th?
Tuesday.
These are fire. I think I really like Nike SB's collaborations, like, not even just with the Dunk Lows, but like, you know, we got the Jordan 4s, the Pine Greens, we got the Navies. I hope they come back out with another color. Give us an orange or a yellow one.
The red pair.
Oh, man. Yeah, that red one was sick, too. But yeah, these are like, I just really enjoy Nike SB's collaborations a lot.
They tell a good story.
They do.
Nike SB has always done a good job of telling a story.
Those are sick.
and kind of bringing you along in the journey of like, this is this color for this
Mhm.
reason.
Mm-hmm.
Paying nod to the 98 Diamondbacks.
Right.
I would have made it white instead of black personally. That's just my opinion. Like I would have kept the swoosh black and everything else that's black. I would have made it white.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a friends and family pair. That's probably
That
what.
probably
does
is,
that. Nike, if
yeah.
you're watching, like that, send me a pair that's white instead of black.
For
And
real.
for real, with some purple pinstripes right here in the middle.
Woo.
That would have been killer to me personally. But
Yeah, that's a good one.
otherwise, beautiful shoe.
Mhm.
Cool.
I agree, man.
Well, I think we hit on quite a bit of topics, guys. Is there anything that we did not talk about that you guys would like to discuss as far as that relates to sneakers so far in 2026?
No, I think we covered a lot.
Good.
I think we covered a lot.
Warren, good.
I mean, there's always things to talk about.
A lot of good stuff on the way, man. True Blue threes.
Oh, man.
Blue towels. Deshaun, you did your thing on those, man.
Mhm.
If you see this, you show love to AZ and Phoenix, and you really inspired a lot of people that
100%.
day. Keep going, dog.
110%. Literally, I'm excited to see what other releases, because even though we got the release calendar already, Nike's gonna throw in some other stuff, and I'm also excited not just for Nike but other brands too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because
everybody.
like New Balance got some. New Balance has come a long way too, man. New Balance has really come a long way. And
Did you pick up those Concepts 997 montages?
I know what you're talking about. I
Oh.
have not. Clean.
That is a beautiful shoe.
Like I remember, was it last year or was it 2024? They came out with I think New Balance and Kith. They did a collaboration.
Mm.
It was like a burgundy maroon, and there also was kind of like a what was it? I think it also was it was like a white with cream, and then they also did a collaboration with Salehi Bunbury. Is it the Heat? It's like the orange magma color.
Oh, yeah, I
That
just got
was
those this year.
That was
Yeah.
insane. So
Yeah.
I think for me, I'm kind of going on a rant, but I think I'm excited to see what brands are going to be giving for consumers to pick up this year.
Yeah.
honestly.
The interesting thing personally is like I'm in a stage where I'm like slowing down a lot.
Mhm.
So I'm buying a lot less stuff,
Mhm.
but it's definitely being selective. But
Right.
New Balance is probably my favorite brand. So
Yeah.
I'm always got an eye open for whatever they're going to bring out.
Mhm.
Definitely excited to see what they do this year.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, that's going to be it for today's episode, guys. I
All right,
appreciate
man.
you guys coming out. If anybody wants to say any parting words before we kind of tip our hats off and sign off, guys, anything you want to say?
Hey, man, go against the hype. Buy what you like.
Mhm.
Stay true to yourself and keep bringing the culture up, yo.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.